And so we want to speak to Paul Wafula, who is a reporter here at the Standard Group. He has been following this particular issue for quite some time now. And Paul, if you can hear me, maybe you can just, from where you sit, from the process, beginning June 2014 up until now, what can you comment about this whole process to the point now we're having these different allegations on the Eurobond?
I think the process started off quite well, and it was quite a breakthrough for the Kenyan government for that matter. This was the first Eurobond we have ever floated actually in the international markets, remember. And we actually attracted over 400% of the subscription. This means that the international market really responded, and as rightly mentioned, we went out on what was essentially something like a beauty parade, trying to show the world that this is what we want to invest the money.
Our economy is this stable. And we are ready to do everything that is important to be able to get this money out. But then rain started beating us when actually the spending of this money started to trickle down into the country. And you have a situation whereby you cannot finger or put a hand on where the money has been spent. So that's where the problem is, because 250 billion is quite some huge amount of money that can be spent, and the country does not notice. So I think that is the problem that we face ourselves in right now.
It was not ready to receive this amount of money, and not even that. There are so many projects that this money was intended for. The Galana project, the Lamu port, and so many other infrastructural development. Does it mean that there was an issue into this money goes straight there? Like, was there time that was being bought for different individuals to benefit from this money, quote unquote, illegally?
As it stands now, every word that comes out is easily to be believed. Because if you look at how the government has handled the entire explanation on the Eurobond issue, there's a lot of questions that still remain unanswered. For instance, we have a breakdown of how the money has been spent. And all we have is that 60 billion has been spent in infrastructure, so much money has been spent in energy, another 40 billion has been given to the Ministry of Devolution, and so on and so forth. But when you ask yourself, where is this infrastructure? Can you show us a road? Remember, Thika Road, it took between 35 to 40 billion to put it up. So a figure like 60 billion being put in infrastructure on roads, for instance, we should be able to see that. So if this is not, we cannot be able to see a road that has been built, we cannot be able to see any factory or any industry where the money has been put. I don't think it's right for us to say that the money has been properly spent at this point.
I mean, where the money is, because according to Treasury, they say that, the controller of budget knows where this money is. Actually, let me just read something here. It responded to the claims that Raila had, saying that there was nothing to hide. The proceeds from the Eurobond were applied prudently, productively, and lawfully. So if this is the information from Treasury, then where is this money? As you say rightly, that we cannot really see this project actually got the money, and this project was done as a result of the money.
The fact is, what is not in dispute at this point is that the money was we got the money into the account, but this money has not done what it was supposed to do. Because you remember, one of the main reasons was that we are going to borrow this money so that we reduce domestic borrowing. That has not happened. I mean, the government has gone on an overdrive. There's a lot of appetite for borrowing. And until recently, when there was a lot of noise on borrowing, that the government put brakes on the borrowing from the domestic market. And on the other issues of infrastructure, where we are looking at the Lamu port and the other infrastructure projects that were put up, there's nothing to show for this money. So I think the government has to come clean. And for me, from where I sit, what this paints for us, because next time we go out into the international market to get money, these already will be a big spot on our credit rating, on our ability to manage finances. And it does not do us very well if a simple explanation that Treasury should give, like, look, we got this money, 20 billion was spent on this road, 15 was spent on this agriculture project, 5 billion was spent on this. That is not too much to ask for, especially as taxpayers. Yes.
Right. Paul, maybe finally you can just briefly tell us, so who would be the right person to quote-unquote crucify if indeed it emerges that this money was not used for what it was meant to be used on?
You see, at this point, the person who is responsible is a Treasury CS, because this is a custodian of all the public resources. So he's a person who will be able to tell us where the money is, because that is exactly his job. So I think the Treasury should tell us.
Right. Thank you very much, Paul Wafula there, joining us from our City Centre studio, just giving us a breakdown of the Eurobond and of